You probably think it takes months, maybe years. Years of visualization, years of effort, years of healing to shift your reality. You think breakthroughs are something you earn by suffering long enough. That alignment only arrives after you have checked off every spiritual checkbox and mastered every technique. But what if I told you the actual shift, the real quantum leap, happens in a moment so subtle, most people miss it entirely? There is a hidden pattern, invisible to the untrained eye. It appears right before someone's life transforms. Not when they work harder, not when they try more, but when something inside them stops forcing, stops doubting, stops chasing. That is the moment the field responds. In this session, we are going to uncover the exact frequency that activates a quantum shift, and why simplicity is the one thing your ego cannot handle. Let's begin with something you have felt, but maybe never named: the resistance to ease. That moment when things start flowing and you get scared. That moment when you have a deep inner knowing and your mind demands proof. You have felt it, the tension between your soul's clarity and your ego's survival pattern. We live in a world addicted to struggle. Effort is glorified. Complexity is worshipped. If something feels too simple, it must be wrong. If it comes too easily, it must be undeserved. But here is the truth. The quantum field does not respond to how hard you work. It responds to how clear you are. And clarity, it is almost always found in simplicity. The challenge is simplicity threatens the false self, because if it is simple, then what was all the struggle for? If it is simple, what does that mean about the identity you have built around trying, fixing, and proving? Simplicity strips away the drama, and when there is no more drama, there is nothing left to hide behind. This is why most people unconsciously sabotage their own shifts, not because they are broken, but because they are afraid of how quiet the truth really is. They expect lightning, they get stillness. They want fireworks, the field gives them silence. But in that silence is where the shift lives. Think about the last time you tried to force something into being. Maybe you pushed for a relationship, hustled for an opportunity, or gripped tightly to an outcome. How did that feel in your body? Probably contracted, tense, exhausting. Now think about something that came to you effortlessly, something that just flowed, a synchronicity, a perfect timing, an unexpected gift. What was different? You weren't forcing it, you were allowing it. That is the frequency we're talking about. Not passivity, but a kind of active surrender, a state where you are clear about what you want, but unattached to how and when it arrives. The quantum field is always mirroring. It is not waiting for your next affirmation. It is vibrating with your current identity. And the moment you drop the need to force, the moment you simply become, the feedback loop changes. You stop waiting for the external to validate the internal. You stop adjusting your frequency to your circumstances. Instead, you begin to hold your tone, no matter what. This is the difference between manifesting and shifting. Manifesting often implies creating something out of lack. There is an underlying assumption that you don't have it yet, and you need to pull it toward you through effort, ritual, or technique. Shifting, on the other hand, is becoming the version of you that already exists in another now. It is recognizing that the timeline where you have what you desire is already vibrating in the quantum field. You are not creating it, you are collapsing into it. And the only thing separating you from that timeline is your frequency filter. Not time, not effort, just energy. So let me ask you, what if it's not that your shift is hard, but that it is unfamiliar? What if you have been trying to think your way into a new timeline instead of feeling your way into it? What if the real block isn't your environment, your circumstances, or your past, but your addiction to complexity? Because here is what I have observed working with thousands of people. We are addicted to complexity. We believe that if the solution is simple, it can't possibly work. We have been conditioned to trust struggle more than ease. But the quantum field operates on principles that are elegant in their simplicity. It doesn't need you to perform elaborate rituals. It needs you to be clear, coherent, and consistent. That's it. That is the whole game. If the quantum shift is so simple, then why do so few people experience it? Why does it feel like some invisible wall keeps you looping in the same emotional patterns? Why do your efforts plateau right when you think you are getting close? It is because simplicity requires something far more demanding than effort. It requires awareness. And awareness without the safety net of complexity can feel terrifying. When things are complicated, you can blame the tools, the method, the process. You can say, I just need to find the right technique, or maybe I haven't done enough healing yet, or perhaps I need one more course, one more teacher, one more breakthrough. But when it is simple, there is nowhere to hide. The spotlight turns inward, and you are left with one question: am I really ready to shift? Let's start with what's blocking most people from holding the right frequency: blind spots. These are not flaws, they are patterns you are too close to see. Emotional reflexes you have normalized. Narratives you have repeated so often they now feel like truth. But here's the thing. The quantum field doesn't respond to what you consciously want. It responds to what you unconsciously are. So, while your mind is visualizing abundance, your frequency might still be coded in scarcity. Not because you're not trying, but because you have never questioned your default signal. Take a moment to feel into that. What do you broadcast when no one is watching? What is the emotional climate of your inner world when you are not doing the work? When you are driving alone in your car, when you are lying in bed at night, when you are in the shower or cooking dinner or walking down the street. In those unguarded moments, what story is playing? What feeling is humming beneath the surface? That is your real frequency. That is what the field is picking up. Most people have a performance frequency, the one they activate when they are meditating or journaling, and then they have a default frequency, the one that runs in the background the other 95% of the time. And guess which one the quantum field responds to? The dominant one, the consistent one, the one you are broadcasting most of the time. This is why you can do everything right and still feel stuck, because the techniques are just scratching the surface. The real work is in reprogramming the default. This is where true mastery begins. Let me share the 4 skills that clean your signal and stabilize your frequency. 1. Self-awareness. I am not talking about journaling or daily reflection alone. I am talking about cultivating the kind of awareness that watches your thoughts while they are happening, without judgment, without fixing. The kind of awareness that recognizes when you are reacting from survival and chooses not to collapse into it. This is metacognition, the ability to observe yourself observing. It's like having a witness inside you that doesn't get swept away by every emotional wave. Most people are so identified with their thoughts and feelings that they become them. I am angry. I am anxious. I am not enough. But self-awareness creates space. It allows you to say, I notice anger moving through me, or I observe anxiety showing up, or I see the not enough story playing again. That space, that tiny gap between the experiencer and the experience, is where your power lives. 2. Radical responsibility. This is where your frequency starts to clean itself. It isn't about blaming yourself for everything. It is about claiming everything you are emitting, especially the parts you'd rather disown. When you shift from why is this happening to me to what is this showing me about my resonance, the field starts to mirror you differently. Victimhood is loud but incoherent. It scatters your energy in all directions, looking for someone or something to blame. Ownership is quiet but magnetic. It gathers your energy back to center and says, I am the common denominator in my life. If I don't like what I'm experiencing, I have the power to shift it. 3. Accountability to state. These are the vibrational anchors you return to no matter what life throws at you. Most people wait for life to validate their state. They say, I will feel abundant when I have money. I will feel loved when I'm in a relationship. But quantum shifters flip the script. They hold their frequency until life has to reflect it. Accountability means showing up for your state even when it is inconvenient, even when the evidence says you're crazy, even when you feel like nothing is moving. It is choosing to feel grateful before you have proof. It is choosing to feel peaceful in the middle of chaos. This is not toxic positivity. This is energetic sovereignty. 4. Detachment from perception. We are taught to judge everything. This is good. That is bad. This means I failed. But what if your low moment is actually the final phase before the shift? What if what feels like a breakdown is simply your old frequency collapsing in on itself? Detachment doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you don't label. You let the experience move through you without assigning it a verdict. Because the quantum field is not linear. The darkest moment might be the exact calibration required for the light to land. There is a moment, subtle, disorienting, and often misunderstood, that almost always comes right before a true quantum shift. It is the moment when the old timeline begins to loosen, but the new one hasn't anchored yet. You feel suspended, like you are standing in a hallway between two realities. The past no longer fits, the future isn't clear, and everything inside you is screaming to do something, when in truth, you are right on the edge. This space is sacred, but it doesn't feel that way. It often shows up as confusion, fatigue, misalignment, even despair. And if you don't know what is happening, you will misread this as a sign to turn back. But here is the truth. This is not a collapse. This is a calibration. Before any quantum jump, your field has to let go of its current coherence pattern. Think of it like detuning from one radio station before locking in to another. There is static in between. That static feels like disorientation, but it is not a warning, it is a threshold. The old frequency cannot hold your next chapter. That is why it feels like things are falling apart. What is really happening is this: the energy that held your old identity together is disassembling, and without that charge, your ego has nothing to grip, so it panics. It creates fear, doubt, restlessness. It tries to convince you that something is terribly wrong. But that is just the ego doing its job, trying to keep you safe by keeping you the same. This moment right before the shift is where most people quit. The truth is, if it feels shaky, you are close. If things seem uncertain, you are almost there. So what do you do in that space? You breathe, you stay, you hold your center. You don't need to see the whole path. You just need to take the next step. Let's talk about signals. Your energy is always broadcasting, whether you mean it to or not. And what you are broadcasting isn't your intention, it is your embodiment. You can say you are ready. You can write affirmations. But underneath all of that, your signal is laced with doubt, urgency, or fear. That is the true message the field is receiving. So what does that really mean? It means your inner world is your only strategy. Your nervous system is the instrument that tunes your life. And coherence, that deep, unshakable alignment between thought, emotion, and state, is the key signature the quantum field listens to. Coherence doesn't require perfection, it requires presence. Think of it like tuning a radio. If you are even slightly off the station, all you get is static. The same is true for your field. When your frequency is filled with contradiction, wanting but not believing, asking but not receiving, your signal comes through unclear, incoherent. And incoherence gets one response from the field: delay. Not because you are being punished, but because the field is waiting for a clear instruction. This is why quantum shifting isn't about doing more, it is about cleaning the signal. And cleaning doesn't mean censoring your feelings, it means aligning your inner experience. It means owning your energy so fully that there is no split between your intention and your embodiment. But here's the catch. Most people try to force coherence. They try to think their way into a feeling. But coherence doesn't come from control, it comes from surrender. You can't fake resonance. You can't intellectualize your way into magnetic alignment. You feel your way there by softening into the truth of who you already are. Now that you have felt the truth of coherence, let's explore how the field actually responds. Because if you have ever wondered why some intentions seem to manifest instantly while others float endlessly, the answer is this. The field doesn't reward desire. It reflects your dominant vibration. And that vibration is dictated by one thing: where your attention lives consistently. The quantum field is infinite. Every version of you already exists in it. The observer effect tells us that particles don't form into matter until they are measured, focused on, collapsed from wave into form. Which means your attention isn't just passive, it is constructive. It chooses which version of reality steps forward. This is why quantum shifting is not about controlling outcomes. It is about selecting them with your focus and stabilizing that selection with your state. Most people don't realize that their attention is fragmented. They think about abundance in the morning, worry about lack in the afternoon, and fall asleep in a fog of doubt. That isn't consistency. That is a chaotic broadcast. The field doesn't punish that chaos, it just reflects it. But when your attention becomes a laser, when you learn to hold your vision without chasing it, needing it, or doubting it, something extraordinary happens. The potential timeline begins to organize around you. You are not forcing reality to change. You are collapsing into the version of reality that is already vibrating at your frequency. You are not creating your desired reality from scratch. You are tuning in to the version of reality where it is already happening. But here is the nuance that almost no one talks about. You don't shift with thought alone. You shift with identity. Your thoughts might want the shift, but your subconscious identity might still be tuned to the old pattern. And if that is the case, the field will mirror the identity, not the thought. So ask yourself, who am I being right now? Not in performance, not in effort, but in tone, in truth, in stillness. Because that version of you, the one already living the life you have been visualizing, is not waiting, it is available. And you access it not by reaching, but by receiving. Identity is not what you do. It is who you are when no one is watching. It is the frequency you carry when you are not trying to impress anyone, prove anything, or perform for validation. And the moment you consciously choose a new identity, not by forcing it, but by embodying it, the field begins to reorganize around that choice. Let's say it plainly. You don't quantum shift by doing more. You shift by aligning more cleanly, more calmly, more truthfully. You shift when you stop running after the version of you that already exists and start being them. That is emotional mastery. That is energetic maturity. That is what the quantum field responds to. You are not here to chase the shift. You are here to embody the one who shifts easily. This is why the masters of manifestation don't teach methods, they transmit states. They don't add, they reveal. And so this is your invitation to remember what you already are right now in this moment. The timeline exists, the one where you are clear, calm, magnetic, certain, aligned. Let this be the shift that stabilizes. Let this be the signal you return to again and again, not to perform, but to belong. And if you have made it this far, you already know this isn't just a video, it is a transmission, and something in you has already started to rearrange. Manifestation is not a performance, it is a living practice. In the comments, write just one word: I am the shift. Let that phrase be your anchor, not as a declaration to the universe, but as a recognition of what already exists within you. And if you are ready to stop chasing and start engineering your reality, subscribe to the laboratory. Keep tuning, keep aligning. Welcome to Quantum Core.